me what's on your mind.
Hey there, this is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics with Aaron Bennett from Fracture Deco, and his artist will be joining us very shortly. But we're just gonna kind of get settled in here. So I noticed that you have like a pretty high funding goal. Is that you feel like that's going to be a hindrance for you, or?
It's definitely a challenge. If I could
Yeah,
make it cheaper, I would. You know,
right. Gotcha.
it's really just how much it costs to do, this kind of artwork.
Mm.
Rod
Oh,
out artist.
yeah, the artwork is incredible. Yeah, uh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing the Painted Death, right, for Bancroft.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they work
Yeah,
well together. Yeah.
that's awesome.
But yeah, it's just the cost of it, to be honest with you. That's why the funding goal
Mhm.
is so weird, because we've done it to the dollar. You know, it's
Oh, right. Gotcha.
yeah. Don't want
Yeah,
to ask for any more than I
mhm,
need. I just want to get it kind of finished. So
right. Speak of the devil, he shall appear, Mr. Rob Looper. Hey, man.
What's up, man?
Not
Thanks
cute.
for
Not.
inviting us. What's
Yep.
up, Aaron?
Hey.
hey brother, how you doing?
Yeah. Not saying that you're the
Great.
devil. Just saying speak of the devil, which is just a phrase. It's an American phrase.
Not a problem.
He's got
Anyway.
the goatee. You got the little
Yeah.
goatee.
Oh yeah, soap
Yeah.
patch. Yeah, the soap
Yeah,
patch
The
thing.
devil.
There you go. Anyway, yeah, I thought it'd be interesting subject to talk about tonight because sci-fi horror is a very specific genre. You
Mm.
don't. It's not very commonly used, but once it's done, when somebody does it, and does it right, it's
Mhm.
really indelible.
Yeah.
Like for example, the Alien film, the first Alien film, which
I love it.
yeah, there you go. Or
Who doesn't? Who
yeah,
doesn't?
or Event Horizon, which is my favorite
Oh,
horror
damn.
movie
oh,
of all time.
There you
that's
go.
good.
There it is.
Yeah.
Definitely the best
Good.
one, man.
So yeah, there's just something about the empty vacuum of space and being that close to like death that makes anything
Yeah.
that happens
Mm.
just elevated. Like the just the stakes are so high because if something like if a rock flies through space and hits your spaceship and hurts the integrity, you could be like sucked out of a hole, or something like that. I mean, it's pretty
You, you,
pretty brutal environment, right?
you
Yes,
know,
yes.
oh, sorry.
No, go for it,
Oh,
man. Go.
you know what at the same time attract me
Mm-hmm.
to it? Those sci-fi stories, mainly when we have like a story like Alien, when you have
Mm-hmm.
a broken spaceship somewhere in the space,
Yeah,
Mm.
is the silence, man.
right.
The silence. We human beings, mainly the modern human
Mm-hmm.
beings, we don't know what is silence.
Right.
Totally black silence, empty
Mm-hmm.
space. This for me is the scariest part
Yeah.
when you go to space, because even an astronaut out of
Mm-hmm.
the spaceship, I
Yeah.
think you heard yourself breathing
Mm-hmm.
in the, but imagine, man,
Right.
totally no sound.
Yeah.
For us that live in the city, cars, mobile,
Right.
kids running over, you know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
never get pure silence.
Yeah.
And the fear of the unknown, of course, to
Right.
look in the window of your spaceship and just black
Mm-hmm.
forever. You know what I mean? Man, this is, and then you
Yeah.
put a monster inside the spaceship. That,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude,
Raise it
that's
even
it.
low. Raise it even
Oh
higher.
my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was
So,
thinking about,
what does that appeal to you, Aaron?
The science and the
Mm-hmm.
sci-fi, the blackness, the
Mm-hmm.
all that sort of stuff. Sci-fi is kind of naturally scary, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
just because of the empty void, you know.
Right.
I actually, you know, as a kid, I remember, you know, you go out and play, and you stay out a bit too late. It gets dark, and then
Yeah.
sometimes you'll just be laying on the grass, and you look up at the stars, and I kind of remember just getting this sinking feeling if you look
Mhm.
too long at the stars and the blackness.
Mm.
It's yeah, it can definitely be a little unsettling for sure,
Yeah.
and that's what I like
Right.
about it. Yeah.
Man, I like I heard you saying that, and I remember a day in my life when I was younger.
Mhm.
I did the experience. I was driving, crazy experience, of course. I was
Of
driving
course.
because I was young in
Right.
a road straight. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Black midnight,
Ah.
even more 2 a.m. And then for 1 minute I turn it off the lights, everything, and everything goes black.
Ah.
No silence, man. Dude, you don't
Right.
know the feel. It was like even half of a minute.
Yeah.
Just turn it off and
Well,
dude,
that's
my
the
heart like
sensory deprivation experiments that they did prove that human beings uh, don't handle that very well.
no, no,
You know that
no.
your mind tends to eat itself if it doesn't have something, some sensory somewhere. Your
Of
brain
light or
starts to,
something. Yeah,
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 your brain basically cannibalizes itself for any kind of sensation whatsoever. Uh,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
they did a lot of tests with that, and people did not come out the way they went in. Okay, I'll just say that
Yes.
much. uh, yeah, that's. I also think there's a really interesting element of like the primordial, you know, like a basic survival of the, you know, and then
Mm,
high technology, and they're like pushed in together, you know, and the high technology is the only thing keeping you surviving, right?
Mhm.
Um, like I watched this series called The Expanse, and
Oh,
yes.
I start to watch it and I heard very good
yeah.
thoughts about it.
So
Well,
good.
I
It's
only
really
got
good.
I only got through the first season, but the first season was really solid.
Mm.
And I didn't get to the second season, but I did get through that first season. The first season was very very solid, but it talked about things like that. Um, and I think also
Nice.
when you're dealing with like the science, sufficiently advanced science to the primitive mind appears to be magic. I
Mm,
think Carl
Mm.
Sagan said that, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of ways, especially like when you get the alien technologies and alien like when you mix that other into it, you know, with their technologies that are so advanced, far beyond ours. Then you start, you know, it starts like getting into the area of magic, or you know, beyond our comprehension. But
yeah.
even that's horror, you know, that's very horrific in a way, because
Yeah, for
it
sure.
makes you seem like very helpless. That's a helpless feeling, you know. That
Yeah, man.
It's the mystery of it all, you know.
mhm.
It's
Yeah.
really because we don't understand it. And I think that's why,
Yeah.
you know, aliens are so interesting but also terrifying, you know,
Mhm.
in a lot of ways. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's cool to watch in movies, and you know, even lately there's been sightings, you know, that kind of thing with
Yeah.
the Pentagon releasing those the Tic
Right.
Tac footage, right?
Yeah.
Oh
It's
man.
kind of intriguing, but
Mm.
at the same time everybody's kind of a little worried, you know.
Yeah.
And
A little big word.
We all saw Independence Day, so
Yeah.
that, you know, that
Yeah, but
sometimes they don't come
imagine.
as friends. They don't come as friends all the time, you know.
I think I
So
heard. I reading somewhere Stephen Hawking interview talking about it.
hmm
It was not a good idea to get in contact with a higher civilization
yeah,
because
he
it
was
was
against
saying,
SETI. Yeah, he was against SETI. Uh,
yeah, yeah, was
yeah,
the
oh,
same that like the colonized people trying
right.
to reach the Indians. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's the same thing because
right,
that
right.
technology. Imagine, man. Imagine a civilization that crossed the galaxy,
Mhm.
has technology to cross the galaxy. When
Yeah.
they arrive here, it's
Right.
like kids. You know what I mean?
I
You
think
can't
somebody
fight
I
against.
think he said that the reason he was terrified of their attempts to reach out into the universe was not that they were doing it, was that he was afraid they were going to succeed.
Mm,
Yes.
So
yeah, totally,
Yeah,
totally agree.
yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
yeah, be careful what you ask for, basically.
Totally.
Anyway, so what is your favorite sci-fi horror, uh, movie or television or comic or whatever?
Um, well, for me, it's kind of a combination of stuff. I don't really have
Hmm.
one singular show or movie.
Right,
Definitely Alien, right?
Alien. Yeah.
Alien's kind of the classic, and it's
Hmm.
what we've kind of used as a scaffolding for this story.
Oh, okay.
But the 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 movies and shows that I like, there's one recently that I watched called Altered Carbon. It's
Ah,
a
yeah, yeah,
Netflix
All right.
show.
yeah,
I think I watched the first season.
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
I'm definitely familiar with that one. Yeah.
Mm.
so good. It's just got the feeling of I don't know, it's like post-apocalyptic, but
Mhm.
everyone's kind of living in the future with really good technology, and there's enough for everyone, but
Yeah.
there's an imbalance in the community.
Hmm.
With the higher class versus the lower class of people, and I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that show, Event Horizon is
Hmm.
a huge one.
Oh,
That
yes.
Yeah,
scared the crap out of me.
for me too, man. You know what I like of Event Horizon? I was thinking about it because I'm rewatching all the classics
Hmm.
sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the relation, I don't know if something from my mind or the actor really thought about it, between the empty space, hell, and
Hmm.
our mind. You know
Right.
what I mean? If you see, because when the guy appears and I say, whoa, he's not a monster, he's a
Yeah.
human being. You know what I
Right.
mean? But insanely sadistic,
Yeah.
demon mind. He was a scientist, man.
Right.
Scientist.
Right.
He has a different view of universe.
Yeah.
And when you see the character showing up and say, whoa, you start to shake and say, whoa, man. And then
Right.
the final scene, when you see the ship
Right.
in the void, man,
Yeah.
you say, where this ship goes, you know what I mean? For
Right.
hell, to where?
Yeah.
Is, think about the human mind.
Hmm.
We can create so beautiful things,
Yeah.
beautiful art and everything, and you can create insanely
Yeah.
horror things at the same
Yeah,
time.
Sam Neill has always been one of the scariest actors for me. In The Mouth of Madness, and he was the Omen 3. He was Damien in Omen 3. I mean,
Mm,
he has this like unsettling quiet about him. You remember that
Yes.
that part in Jurassic Park where he scared the kid?
fabulous,
I
man.
he
Well,
When
he
he
just
get
he
the
flips the
claw,
switch. He
yeah,
flips the switch, and there's this low purr that he gets when he's being
yeah.
intimidating, and it's just like,
The kid with
dude,
big eyes, like,
dude,
oh,
right, right. Uh, but yeah, there's an interesting story about that. That movie was Paul S. Anderson's first like foray into movie making, and he later on did the Resident Evils and all those. But that was his like first foray into movie making, and I think he did like music videos before that or something. But
wow.
he was like really truncated shooting schedule. He was right at the last minute. They like cut his budget and they cut his ability to do
mm,
shooting schedule, and so he had to like do some like guerrilla filming. And one of the things he did was he got a second unit in Serbia to do the hell uh, footage. Okay, and evidently the Serbian group of Serbian filmmakers got some prostitutes together and went to some rusted out barn somewhere and did the most horrific 15 minutes of footage or however long it was that you can
Whoa.
imagine.
Damn.
And when he saw it, he almost vomited. It was so horrific. And he's like, so that's why he like used just flashes of it. He just, because if he used any more of it, it would be an X-rated movie. And if you, I out of morbid curiosity, I slowed it down and I got like through 3 images before I like, no, okay, I'm done. I'm out. But
We are not prepared. We are not prepared for this kind of
Right.
This kind of
because
mind distorted.
if there is a hell, that's what it looked like. I mean, they really went there. But that footage was lost. They can't like do a high definition version or a Blu-ray version of it because they over there they store all their film in like salt mines or something like that, and it was
Really?
improperly
Wow.
stored, and they like lost it. So
Damn.
fortunately, whatever footage they shot is not in existence anymore.
Yeah,
Unless-
maybe that's good. It's
Maybe
good
that's a
thing.
good thing. Maybe that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
maybe it's a good thing.
But
Yeah.
that's just exploring that whole, maybe hell is another dimension, and maybe they
Yeah.
found a way to go there, and
Mhm.
maybe you don't want to go there, But that's
Yeah, I remember in a line in the Event Horizon when they are crazy, killing everyone in the spaceship.
Yeah.
And the mainly science, the guy from Jurassic Park, he started talking. Can you see? Can you see? You know what I mean? I say,
Yeah.
whoa, what the hell?
and
Is
is
this guy had in mind?
this is after he cut his eyes out and sewed them
Yeah,
shut.
can you
Right.
see? Can you see? Like the level of horror is
Ah.
unthinkable. You know what I mean? And,
Wow.
And I like a lot of those things in
Yeah.
movies. You don't need to show everything.
No.
You don't need to
No.
to say
No.
all the past, where the guy goes, show the hell. No. You let
But see,
from
that's
the
probably
mind.
what made that movie better was his cut, because his budget got cut, so he couldn't do a lot of CGI, so he had to do a lot of implication,
Mhm.
and what you can come up with in your head is way worse than anything anybody could ever
Way
show
worse.
you.
Way worse.
Way worse. I think Aliens, the first movie, in space, no one can hear you scream. It's got to be the best tagline ever.
Yeah.
It's the classic one, man. It's the classic one. And,
Oh,
and it was the
definitely,
same
definitely.
because it was in 75, 77, the first one. I don't remember. But
Yeah.
they don't have budgets to make huge
No.
CG or even special effects.
Right.
So it's
Right.
all about mind. And the movie is so slow, very
Yeah.
slow. You see the spaceship on the space.
That's right.
so
And
slow.
showing the outcome as well. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
show what's already happened to the person
Yeah.
and you don't explain it, like the less you explain, the scarier it is, That's
Well-
that can be really,
The chest bursting scene. I don't know if you know about that, but
right.
the director kept that completely quiet. They did not tell anybody what they were
yeah,
going to.
yeah. I read about it.
And
No
he
actors knew what
he had
happened.
them leave the set, and he set it up. They set it up.
Something you have there.
Yeah.
but
And so
nobody-
what
and
you
reaction
see
very-
is their
yeah,
actual reactions.
yeah.
And there
Fear.
was one of the ladies actually had a mental breakdown over it. I mean,
Oh wow.
she literally had to be sedated. I think I think it was a blonde haired lady, but they did not expect that. you saw them
Classic.
freaking out, and that was
Classic.
actual blood and gore, and everything was like, I think, cattle entrails or whatever. Just
I
it
love
just
that.
exploded out of the cavity, and it's all practical effects. And and their reactions were all practical.
Yeah.
uh,
It's good move. But that's for the new ones.
Yeah.
The Prometheus.
Yeah.
Oh, Prometheus. Yeah.
Prometheus, yeah.
I don't like so much. I like a few things, but not the whole
Right.
movie.
Mm.
Like the scene when the biologist touch
Yeah.
something another planet, man, with his hands. Oh, let me see what it is, and bang, I say, oh, come on, bro. You're a
Right.
biologist. in another
Yeah.
planet. You never put your hand in something that you don't know.
Right.
Even here in the
No,
forest,
no,
imagine another planet with another
Why are you
race.
touching it, bro?
Come on, bro. Get
Yeah.
a cage, a robot flying, put in a cage, take to
Yeah.
the science lab, stay away of glass.
Uh,
Come on, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
come on. That's
Come
that's
on.
that's the equivalent of don't go in the basement. You know,
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same.
that's the
Don't go in the
sci-fi horror
forest.
version of
Yeah,
don't go in the basement. You know, don't touch that. You know,
it's exactly right. And the worst thing, that's
Mhm.
how you don't build a character. The guy was a biologist. If
Right?
it was me, cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything about it.
No, no.
Cool. Regular people,
Right.
artists, nothing to do with biology. But science,
Yeah.
biology. And he
Yeah.
touched
hmm
the alien. Come on, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what does this do? You know?
Exactly. Exactly. Well,
No,
as an
you
artist,
can't
you
do it.
probably liked that Geiger designs, didn't you?
Oh, I love it. I love it, man.
All the
It's
pipes and
oh,
the curved and the
it's
yeah,
hard for it was so beyond
yeah,
our time that it's hard
Yeah.
for us today, 2022,
right,
to not copy that design.
right,
It's,
right.
man, his mind was. Did you saw the? I think his house. He has a table, like alien,
Oh, really?
huge table. Yeah, chairs in that
Uh,
format. Dude, the guy was insane.
Yeah, there's something seriously wrong with him, I think.
Man,
But you
great
know, like
artist.
the Godfather of the genre was probably um, gosh, his name just blew out of my head. Um, the I say he wrote like he wrote in the mouth of or the Mountain of Madness. He wrote he wrote like the Shuggoths and the what is his name? Um,
Mm.
yo,
Is he a sci-fi writer or?
Cthulhu. He wrote Cthulhu and all that.
Oh, Lovecraft.
Lovecraft,
Lovecraft.
H.P.
Lovecraft, yeah.
Lovecraft. Why in the
American,
world
yeah.
that just went completely out of my head. But if you're going to talk about sci-fi horror, you definitely have to take a stop at Lovecraft because a lot of started with Lovecraft. You know,
Mm.
Perfect. Yeah, the creativity is wild. You know, I haven't gotten
Mhm.
into the stories so much, like
Yeah.
the books, because I'm a writer for this,
Yeah.
but I
Mm.
don't read all that much.
Mm.
You know, in novels. You know,
Right.
but I do play the games when they come out.
hmm
I
Yeah.
love the immersion, and there's a game called The Sinking City, which is
Mhm.
based on the
Rylith.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's man, it's wild. It's the feeling is just you just feel kind of that sinking, like
Mhm.
horror feeling in every moment. It
Yeah.
all feels really depressing,
Yeah.
but you want to keep going.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, it's beings beyond space that are basically maybe beyond our dimension or whatever. I mean, the guy was probably dealing with ergot poisoning. Rye bread had gone bad, so he's probably he was probably tripping balls. I mean, that's a good possibility.
Makes
Probably.
sense. Yeah.
Makes sense. Totally.
To come up with those images, I mean, there had to be some help somewhere, chemically wise.
Oh, dude, it's
Uh,
heavy. It's
yep.
really it's really straining, you know,
Mhm.
when you're alone and you're working your way through the story.
Yeah.
It's if you spend too long, you definitely just feel kind of super depressed.
Oh, right,
Mm.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to go some really dark places to do that. Greetings, everyone, and the game Dead Space delivers fantastic space horror. Yes,
Yeah.
Totally,
it does.
totally.
It does.
Aaron can talk
Uh,
about it because he lived and have a huge influence.
Right.
And me too. I play, I think, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's something that you can play at night, just you in
Mhm.
your living room.
Yeah.
And
That's a
dark,
challenge. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I,
Go ahead.
big
I definitely-
nightmares.
I played the third one with my mate in co-op. That was kind of my entry to the story and the games. And I mean, you guys have both played it. Obviously, you know how great it is.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story. I think everyone kind of they say the third one's a little bit trash, but I don't agree. I think it's good. I think
Right.
all three of them are really good, and um, that was the third one was the inspiration for me to write Fractured Echo.
Ah,
Uh,
there you go.
just the atmosphere, the feeling.
Mhm.
I just wanted to make something similar, but
Yeah.
obviously it's very different now to what
Mhm.
we started with. But yeah, amazing game, amazing story.
Yeah.
Um, you know, something you can replay over and over again for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forever. Yeah.
yeah. What do you guys think of it? I'm curious.
I'm not a gamer, so I haven't had that experience. To
Really?
be honest.
Okay, man, you got to. It's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Man, I have a problem with games
Mm.
because I'm a little addicted. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So if I
you'll
want
you'll
to,
get your work done, right?
yeah, if I want to work done and keep
Yeah.
married, you
Right.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. There you go. There
I
you go.
need to stay away a
Yeah.
little bit because man, when I get in a story like that space, I need to finish the game,
Uh-huh.
whatever time it takes.
Right.
So 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I'm playing. You know what I mean? I need to
Same.
see the end. I
Oh,
need to see
I
the
used
end.
to do the MMO RPG
Dude.
back in the day, and you know, especially the
Mhm.
immersive worlds where you wander around worlds. I used to lose days to that. So that
You know the feeling.
yeah, I made a conscious choice. I was never a console guy. I was always a computer guy, computer game guy.
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
City of Heroes just about consumed my life for a while. So
It
I have to say
happens.
that.
It
Yeah,
really
yeah, it
does
does. It
happen.
does. You become those avatars. I can see why people have like depressive episodes and things like that. Yeah, so it's
Right.
it does
When
get
it
there.
ends. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
Um.
no. I want to keep going, you know?
Ratchet Echo does indeed give off a Dead Space vibe. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Nice,
Right.
thanks.
Right.
That was the initial idea, right?
Mhm.
But the stories change too much. I
Mhm.
mean, it's totally different story. You know,
Right.
it's
Right.
more like the feeling of
Yeah.
fear in space. That's
Yeah.
that basic came from Alien, the first
Yeah.
one,
Mhm.
and then we
Nah.
go four.
It's twisted and it's been rewritten and rewritten to the point where it's just it's really like a combination of all
Mhm.
these things we're talking about, really. Like you can see
Right.
elements of that in the story.
Mhm.
Um, it's definitely probably more like Event Horizon than anything else.
Ah.
Just in terms of people losing their minds and
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, starting with a scientist who's very grounded, and then you know, it sort of quickly moves to you
Mhm.
know, religious themes and you know, people just getting confused about what they see and what's
Mm.
actually happening
Right.
with that psychedelic, you know,
Mhm.
edge to it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, for
Yeah. It
sure.
must have been that must have been fun for Rod to draw then.
Yeah. Man, I fell in love by the project in
Mhm.
I think the first or second email that
Yeah.
Aaron sent to me, he found me on Instagram
Mhm.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
have a project. I
Right.
said, oh man, here he comes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Another comic superhero story. And I don't, nothing against, I love it,
Right.
all the superhero.
Right.
But back in the day when I was younger, right
Mhm.
now that I'm getting older, I prefer horror, sci-fi,
Mhm.
steampunk, another theme, not so much superhero.
Right.
And then we start to talk about the story. I start to think, oh, is it too much dead space? I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to get involved.
Right.
But then he talk about it, man. But it's more in the mind. It's more
Mhm.
like psychedelic
Yeah.
drugs, and you don't know what is reality, what is not, what
Mhm.
is demon, angels, whatever.
Right.
And I say, oh, there you got me. And then you say, it's more like Event Horizon that
Yeah.
aliens. I say, that's it. That's only the information that I need to where I sign up.
Yep.
And then we click it
Mhm.
because I always think as an artist, I need to
Right.
have a freedom to
Mhm.
create and a trust. I needed to have the trust from the writer, on me, on my work.
Yeah.
And Arrow gave me so much freedom that I fell in love.
Right.
And it was like a rock band. You
Mm-hmm.
start to play, I play the guitar, and we go.
That was great.
Except this was more death metal, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Well, speaking of artists, I got the great Xevious over here. Hey, fellas.
Yo.
Hey, man.
How you going, dude?
Yeah,
How's it
Radiant
going?
Radio, Hell All, and Nefarious, Hell Nerds, and
Yeah,
Rod
Nefarious.
We Trust.
Oh yeah, Michael released their hashtag, and now
Yeah. The art
everyone
is great,
say,
interesting color palette. Yeah.
thanks. I
yeah,
have
that's-
some arts here I can share. if you
Oh,
want.
sure. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
to see it.
Can I share now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
I'm
let
excited,
me
bro. This is good.
Let's show. Scream.
Yep.
All right. Let's see if I have a here.
Mhm.
Here it goes. Let me see here. No.
It's always the technical things
Yeah.
that throw off the interview.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's always like, oh,
There you go.
I'm getting
Well,
it. I'm getting it.
We got like 30 steps to bring it up. So there we go.
Right.
Oh,
So
wow.
can
Yeah.
you see here?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Some concept art.
Just
Wow.
the first concept we changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But we have some pages here.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So it's like they are
It
arriving.
reminds me of Black Hole if the whole thing blew up.
Yeah.
Uh,
So they are arriving to the spaceship.
yeah, the Black Hole is my first sci-fi horror, by the way.
I'll have to check it out.
It's a
Wow.
Disney movie, but man, goodness. It'll take you on a trip.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
that is incredible.
So we are trying, as Aaron and myself, I work with concept art, and I even still working with concept art today.
Mm-hmm.
We have a huge influence about video game. So
Yeah.
we are trying to not so much American comic book art style. We are
Right.
trying to go on the concept art direction. So
Yeah.
lighting, details, those
Well,
first
I'm
pages.
definitely seeing a color palette, distinctive color palette here.
Yeah,
Reminds me of
this-
what Shadowpunk is doing with his comic.
Yeah, Aaron is Aaron's fault because
Mm-hmm.
he had this in his mind. Man, I want this kind of palette.
Right.
And I say, man, you'll be beautiful in comics. We
Yeah.
usually don't see that.
Wow, look at that.
Um,
Goodness.
So we are
No, you
trying to
don't.
pass this feeling, you know what I mean? The
Mm-hmm.
investigating what happened in the spaceship, the classic
Right.
alien kind of story,
Yeah.
but it'll be beyond that. So we have another page here, another page here.
Oh, wow.
This
Look
is
at this.
page.
You see the blood, like everything is
Yeah.
just heightened. The colors are just extra, It's
Right.
really that neon. We wanted to pull that across, that it's every page is almost like a piece of artwork. Like you could print this and put it on a poster, each
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this very care about it.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Aaron. I said, man, let's make less pages.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be crazy and try to make 100 pages comic book on the first campaign.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's make every single page like a piece of concept art ready to produce a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what Xevious and Buddy Lord are doing with their comic book, Sins of the Fae.
Right.
Every panel could be a poster. Basically, that's their goal.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna take your shot, take your damn shot. I mean, don't put up half-ass just to get it out.
Absolutely.
You take your shot, right?
Yeah.
That's why your funding goal is 10,000. You definitely took your shots. Look at this. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
I mean, that was always
And-
going to be
and
an issue.
Yeah.
The funding, but
Right.
look at the results.
Wow.
And it takes time. That's why we are trying and say to Aaron, we need to go to live stream to explain for the
Mhm.
readers
Yeah.
that this kind of art takes time to produce.
Oh, yeah.
I can't make a page like that in one day. Some
Mhm.
days I take 3-4 days to produce a page, like from the drawing, from the layout,
Right.
drawing, and then I have some drawings here just to see the
Yeah.
process. So let's see. So I send some layouts for
Mhm.
Aaron,
Yeah.
very fast sketch, very fast. You know what I mean?
How
Oh,
cool is
wow.
that? Like you
Yeah.
zoom in, you can see the effort and
So
the the
storytelling,
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I send the pencils
Mhm.
when I have them. Then I separate background from characters. So
Right.
characters in red and backgrounds in blue. And
Oh,
then
right.
from here, I goes to straight to colors. I'm using,
Oh,
you know what I
my.
mean? So
So you're
yeah, it's,
a colorist as well as the artist, then.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm working like a concept art. I'm
Right.
producing everything. So
Hmm.
drawing, colors, everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we are planning to make like a really, really concept art, like a screen from a video game. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
So I'm using all the computer effects like blur,
Hmm.
texture to to remind it
Mm.
to bring the mind of the reader as a video game story.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have so much fun, man, producing, and we are taking care of
Mm.
everything aspect. So we
Right.
are producing
Right.
concepts, studying every single phase of the
Yeah.
project. It's not something that we are doing like for fun. We are taking very serious. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like a
Yeah.
pitch for a movie or something.
Yeah.
It's been
That's
expensive. It's expensive to do this
definitely,
stuff, you know.
definitely.
That's why we need this kind of amount of money in the first campaign.
Right.
Because man, I can't take too many freelance work
Right.
to produce art like that. So
Yeah.
I need to concentrate.
Hmm.
Aaron is paying everything from his pocket,
Yeah.
and we start to produce those preview pages. I think in November or
Hmm.
October last year. I don't remember.
Right.
Dude, it's
So
been a long time. It's
a
been
long
so
time
long.
Well,
just to produce the
I know
preview.
the feeling. I'm definitely on a journey myself with Similar. Um, this is cool. Genuine Comics says bisexual lighting in space.
Yeah, man. I like the sound
Why
of that.
not?
Hojo arrived, and
Hojo,
we
what's
got
up, man?
how many pages in the book? I don't think I see it on the campaign page. Okay.
It's
By
33.
the way, the campaign is pinned at the top if you want to click on it. Since I
Thanks,
don't
man.
I don't
Thank
have
you.
a
Thank you.
I don't have a mod today, so I just pinned the campaign at the top. Yeah, how many pages is it gonna be?
33.
33. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but 33 jaw dropping pages. It looks like.
Oh, thanks, man.
When it comes to doing something that's completely speculative like future technology. Is that like something that frees you to just let your mind go? Because we don't know what these aliens look like, so you kind of get carte blanche to just take off and just I mean, but
Yeah.
do you find that restrictive or do you find it freeing to have that, or
It was
is
kind
it
of
intimidating?
Well, initially it was kind of intimidating doing a
Mhm.
sci-fi thing. I mean, I'm obviously a fan, a big geek when it
Right.
comes to sci-fi, but when I first wrote the script, I did
Mhm.
have some issues thinking, okay, I love sci-fi and the way it can be really technical and accurate,
Mhm.
but I don't know enough about it that I could write, all the science in to be
Right.
super, super 100% accurate. So I definitely, went in the direction of fantasy sci-fi,
Mhm.
and I find that very freeing. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
you can just invent a machine
Yeah.
and say it does something and not explain, the technical ways it does it, but it's still
Right.
interesting to read about. You know,
Yeah.
I find
Yeah.
I find that fun.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. One thing I think that science fiction does better than any other genre is it gives you the connective tissue as to why things work as well as how they or that they work. But you got to get an idea of how things work as well, and that is definitely a challenge. But it's also a complexity that it adds to your story and your world. There's rules that you have to design from scratch that make your worlds entirely unique. Like Dune is entirely different from the world of aliens and and the world, the mindscape of something like Total Recall is entirely different from
All right. And
That's the
rules
best.
of the road. Yeah. Total Recall is so fun, man.
which, by the way, Total
good.
Recall is actually sci-fi horror. Most people don't realize
Yes.
that, but it is definitely sci-fi horror.
The original.
Yeah.
The original,
original,
right?
Yeah.
Not the remake.
Not the remake. No,
remake.
no.
The original.
Well, I mean, the movie, also the book by Philip K. Dick. He didn't have happy endings very often. Most of his endings were, shall we say, bleak. So,
Nice.
he did Blade Runner. He did Minority Report. He did.
I love Minority Report, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he did whole universes that. And never really gets credit for it because people don't realize that he's the one that wrote all these seminal
All
stories that we remember. Like Total Recall, he wrote that. So,
Okay.
we can buy it for you wholesale. I think the name of the original name was. Total Recall definitely is a better name, but anyway.
Little catcher, yeah.
Well, I mean, Blade Runner was initially called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?"
Huh. Okay.
So
What?
yeah, that they definitely succinct. The name was definitely more succinct. Blade Runner,
Yeah.
Kokoshiko Papashango. You guys ever see Leprechaun in Space?
I don't think so. No.
The less we say about that, the better. We're just gonna move on anyway.
Okay.
Keep rolling.
I mean, the Leprechaun went to the hood, and then the Leprechaun went to space. So yeah, Leprechaun in the
What's going
Hood.
on?
That's Leprechaun 3 is Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah.
Oh, I have seen the Leprechaun movies.
Yeah,
Or
right.
I've seen. Is it the one where it's kind of like a monster and it's going around killing people? Is
It's
that the
part
idea?
4. Yeah, it's he grants wishes, but he has a lot of hubris involved, and basically he's after his gold, and he'll grant you that wish, but it's not what you want. It's
Oh, like a genie almost.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's played by Warwick Davis having a good time. So so yeah, they had 1 and 2, and then they went to the Hood for 3, and then they went to space for 4. I think they kind of like milked it pretty good. Anyway,
Oh,
the guy from Willow is the Leprechaun. Yeah,
All right.
Warwick Davis, right?
I mean, if it makes money, right? If it's doing well, keep going.
If they made 4, it's making money. man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
If they
Yeah,
make 4, it's making
yeah.
money.
For the budget, depending on the
Yeah.
budget. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty extravagant comic you've got that going there.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, man.
I like seeing things where somebody is just like try to do something unique and something quality, and
Yeah, thanks.
I don't think we see that often enough. And
Mm.
it kills me. I mean, independent comics, yeah, it's all coming out of pocket, but if you're gonna take your shot, take your shot. There's no budget.
Do your best.
Yeah, there's
do
no
your best.
budget constraints. So you got no editors breathing down your neck. You got all the time in the world. So take your
Yeah.
damn shot.
For
know?
Yeah.
sure.
And
There
so
is a lot of this. Just speaking purely from the guy financing a lot of this and
right.
trying to make it happen. My attitude for a lot of this, even
Mhm.
there's stages where I think, okay, maybe I could make it a bit cheaper and go this
Right.
direction.
Right.
My brain just goes, fuck it, let's go all in.
Yeah. Yeah,
But you
I'm
are right,
adding.
man. But you are right. You are right.
Yeah.
And you see when you see the page and you start to see. I'm anxious to start to see the dialogues, the panels, the
Mm-hmm.
sounds, effects to
Yeah.
complete the cover, and you start to see the like he said, like the
Yeah.
quality is a little higher
Mm-hmm.
from what we are watching in the indie comics in even Marvel DC, man. Come
Right.
on, put the
Right.
comic book side by side and you see
Yeah.
we have something special here. So why not you take a risk? Why not?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's it all coming out of pocket. You know, you find yourself wanting to like cut corners, and you find yourself, you know, wanting to like just get it out there. You know, and there's a bunch of people where you can tell that was their attitude. I just want to get it out there. You know, and
Yeah, for
uh,
sure.
and it's not edited. It's not taking. It's not. All the I's aren't dotted. All the T's aren't crossed. And the the bubbles are kind of like basic, and nobody's really taking care on the lettering, and
Yeah.
what you get is you get like adequate maybe most of the time. Most of the time the story's not even good either, because they didn't even get a writer or a script editor. Uh, but what really intrigues me is when you got a writer based comic where the writer has the script, uh, and then brings a artist on board, and basically lets the artist go, because when you're artist writer creator team, or but when you're basically both, when you're the writer and the artist, you will find yourself truncating things to fit your ability, or to fit your
Mhm.
schedule, or fit what you want to put on a page. But when you got a writer who's feeding a script to an artist and just like basically daring them to go
Mhm.
outside themselves, to go that little bit more, usually you wind up getting something really greater than the sum of its parts, plus you got the added thing with a good script, a
Mhm.
solid script where all the everything's taken care of. The character motivations are there. The progression of thought is there. The plot is good, and plus the art. And
Yeah.
so
I
when I see that, I really it really intrigues me. The projects really intrigue me.
thank you,
No,
dude.
that's
Um,
yeah, thanks.
I think honestly, like when you brought all that stuff up, it just made me think of, it's controlling your ego in these
Hmm.
situations because as a
Mhm.
graphic designer, I definitely over the years have had to deal with myself and my ego and look at,
Hmm.
is this objectively very good or is it kind of
Right.
rubbish and I'm just
Mhm.
justifying my choices. And I
Hmm.
think coming into this, I'd already done all that work and kind of told myself get a grip. And at this
Right.
stage I know it's all about teamwork, and that if
Mhm.
Hmm.
someone comes up with a better idea or a better visual, let's go with that instead.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know
yeah, for sure.
By
Yeah,
the way, the graphic design on this is solid. I really like your Echo, you know,
yeah,
Thanks,
logo
dude.
is really good.
Aaron
Really
is
good.
doing a
Hmm.
show in marketing on social media on the
Right.
pieces.
Right.
So he gets one page and then make like 20 posts and say, come on, he cuts the face and put a letter, put a shadow, put a design in. I say,
Hmm.
come on, man, how many designs can you make in one page? Man, it's
Yeah,
spectacular. It's
that's the
spectacular. Amazing.
challenge.
Right.
That's was one of the ways that we connect mentally
Hmm.
because he's beyond a writer. He's an artist too.
Yeah.
So he's understanding what he needs to tell me
Right.
to maintain my freedom, but with his vision, he
Hmm.
knows exactly, Roger, do this, this, this. That's it.
Well,
And then he leaves it.
that's one thing I definitely I made a commitment before I ever wrote one word of the script to try to learn to draw good enough to know the language that I would need. So if you know what you're asking the artist to do, then you can know when you're pushing boundaries a little bit more. And like I learned perspective, I learned shading, I
It
learned
helps a lot.
angles.
It helps a
Yeah,
lot.
the Bible, which is draw comics, how to draw comics the Marvel way. When it comes to dynamic images, from as opposed to flat panels and things like that. And yeah, when when you like absorb all this, then when you go to talk to the artist, you know better what you're looking for. Like I want an upper angle, I want to kind of like high noon, that's one of my instructions, because I had in my head I want the long man with the shadow, that kind of thing. Uh, but when you know the visual language, you can explain it better. So it
I
definitely
agree.
comes in handy, you know. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the what I'm seeing with this comic though is I'm seeing a aesthetic that you've developed for this comic that no people aren't going to find elsewhere. And I think it's going to be that's a big selling point. You just got to get this in front of people. People got to see this with their eyeballs. When they see it with their eyeballs, it's going to open wallets. I mean, it just is.
Hope
I
so.
think
I
so.
hope so.
I hope so also.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm talking with Aaron. We are trying
Mhm.
to reach many
Yeah.
YouTube channels because
Mm.
unfortunately, with social media, they are not delivering the message anymore. It's
No.
1%. So you have a
Mm.
10K followers is 1%. And
Yeah.
from this 1%, they want to invest in our project is like nothing.
Yeah.
So, and we need to reach people. I believe in the project. I like the story. I put
Mm.
my blood and sweat in producing the pace, the best work ever,
Yeah.
because that freedom that he gave us, not just to draw,
Mm.
but to make the paint.
Right.
So I think people need to know the project. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well. I mean, I'm a smaller channel, but
Ah, my man,
now that I've seen
awesome.
It's great.
the project, I think I definitely going to try to push it some.
Oh,
Um,
Thank you.
thank you,
if
man.
and I'll probably I've got I know a few people that this would really appeal to, and I'll reach out to them for you
Oh, thank you so much,
best
bro.
I
Thank you
can.
so much.
But yep, got to us writer artist combos. I got to stick together, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
We
man.
need to help each other.
Yeah. Uh, what one thing I will say this for a artist, a writer artist like Joe Catapano, for instance. Now, most when that doesn't really qualify for him because when he encountered like limitations of his own ability, he actually decided I have to draw better, or I can't write this script as good as I want, so I'll have to learn to write better. And
Hmm.
uh, and so when you do that though, when you like say, okay, I've reached my limitation, okay, let me push my limitations, you
Yeah,
know,
when you go with the bar a little bit more, a little bit
right?
more, a little bit more. I heard my father when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger because I started to draw like 11 years old,
Yeah.
and my father he has a more technical drawing, like
Oh, okay.
architecture,
Mm-hmm.
but he always wants to make artistically. I saw some sketches from him and
Yeah.
old sketches, and I say, "Oh, he draw very good for my
Right.
time. I am 11 years old, and I trying to please him. So I draw every single day. When I,
Mm-hmm.
Father, what do you think about this drawing? And he say, "That's good. It's getting better. It's getting better. But when you draw a properly hand and a
Yeah.
man above
Yeah.
a horse,
Yeah.
you're a good artist." I
Ah.
say, come on, I can do that. Please. It took me 25 years and I can draw that
Oh,
good.
really?
You know what I mean? I,
Well,
I,
is
I
it your
put
bonding
my
moment
hands,
between you
yeah,
and Bancroft?
yeah. When Bancroft sends some text in the show too
Right.
much hands, I say, let's make more close the hands, not so much movement, like
He can
faces like that.
he can do the scene with his hands in his pocket,
Yeah,
right?
he
Yeah.
can be like that, you know what I mean? Like that. Or
Right.
man above a horse,
Yeah.
two figures at the same time,
Yeah.
doing different
Seriously,
movements.
seriously.
Nah, it's impossible, bro. It's impossible to do. And a
Right.
different
Right.
angle. Imagine drawing a horse.
Yeah.
You run a camera, right,
Mm-hmm.
in the ground, and the
Yeah.
horse and the guy.
Right.
Dude, insane to draw that.
Oh yeah. Oh
Perfect,
yeah.
right? perfectly right. Not
So, what was your favorite thing to create and draw on this comic, Rob?
in these comics. I trying to focus more on the feeling of the page, not so much on the drawing. I want
Ah,
to
okay.
like a movie screen,
Mm-hmm.
the whole page. It seems like a movie screen. Every
Yeah.
single panel together, like your eye, you flow in the page very easy. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Not so. Wait, what happened here?
Yeah.
From what it's like a movie. You know what I mean? A
Right.
screen pass, another screen pass, another screen pass.
Cinematic. You wanted to be
Cinematic.
cinematic. Yeah.
That's the word. I'm trying to
Yeah.
focus more on that. So like I like a lot of colors.
Mm-hmm.
I love colors.
Right.
But Aaron said to me on the page that I did, the last page that I did, when the monsters show up, I put texture, volume, lights, effects, and say, man, show
Yeah.
less of the monster right now. It's not the
Right.
moment to show the monster. I say, really, that's the thing. So I will put a very big shadow
Mm-hmm.
and show just a little bit of the monster because it's not the moment to show the
Right.
monster.
Like
So
aliens.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to do in the pages, not
Mm-hmm.
stay too much into every single part of the panel. You know what I mean? More the feeling, more cinematic.
Well, I've always gravitated more towards like impressionists, like Vincent Van Gogh or
Mm,
people like that. Yeah, they didn't draw everything, but there's like a vibrancy to it, and then there is detail, but maybe not. You don't see like every single
yeah.
petal on the sunflower, but you feel the sunflower, and
Mhm.
you feel like the energy off of it, you know. And I've always like gravitated to maybe a little less detail and but more uh maybe more like of a like a texture, you know.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I'm putting a lot of texture, and I really
Yeah.
think I really want to pass to the reader
Mm-hmm.
the first flow. You know what I mean? You will read 33 pages like a movie.
Right.
Finish.
Right.
Then you go back. I say, whoa, look in this panel. The guy put
Mm,
something behind the fog, behind the wall.
right.
And you stay looking, for me, at
Mm-hmm.
least when I was a really huge comic book collector,
Yeah.
I always think like that. A comic book needs to have a good story that
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop to read.
Right.
Then I get back and see all the detail in the panels, the
Yeah.
art. So I'm trying to do like that.
Well, that's the marriage. It's a hybrid, right?
Mhm.
It's not. I mean, keep hearing people say it's a visual medium, but it's not just a visual medium. It's a storytelling medium, which
Totally.
requires writing and art
And art.
together.
Yeah.
And the writing is like what pulls you into the comic, and the
Hmm.
writing or the drawing is what you like go back and re-look at over and over again, you know, and find new things. And
Yeah.
it's the most pure storytelling medium we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like equate it back to cave paintings, you know, the
Hmm.
little men, you know, the sticks, you know, going after the bison, you know. That's the first
Hmm.
superhero comic because you know those suckers didn't take down something that size, you know. Uh, so there was a superhero comic there. Anyway,
Yeah. In the walls.
yep, very impressive, gentlemen. Very impressive comic. Very impressive
Thanks. Thanks a
visuals.
lot.
The I mean. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by this book. I'll see what I can do. Get you more eyes. Get you
Oh,
more
thanks, man.
exposure.
Thanks.
Uh,
Thanks a lot.
I have a little bit of a reach, and not maybe not much, but I have some.
Not a
Anyway,
problem. Even one is good enough for us.
there you go. There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
One is enough.
thanks for schooling me on this art form, this particular style of
Oh, thanks,
comic.
man.
I hope it's been informative for other people out there that are going to rewatch this, which is
Mm.
which was what I aim for anyway.
Mhm.
Anyway, good luck with getting this thing funded. I think as soon as the more people get eyes on it, the more people are going to want to back it. So
Yeah,
so
for sure.
anyway, this is say goodnight to the fluffiest chat in all of YouTube. That's been Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics with Aaron Bennett and Rob Looper. The project is Fractured Echo. The link is in the chat. Go take a look. Anyway, y'all
Thanks,
have a good
everyone.
night.
Good
Bye.
night. Bye-bye.
Tell me what's on your mind.